Hello my friends.
We are infinitely grateful
to meet you at Castle Nathria.
Today we have prepared for you some of the most controversial moments of the Grandmasters tournament.
We want to discuss with you the craziest turns in terms of value and the impact of randomness on the outcome of the match.
Let's start with the most incredible moment. The opponents were Levick and Habagabu. Using the identity theft spell, Levick managed to find an additional win condition.
Happens before the Maestro disguise.
At first glance, the effect does not look so impressive. The spell is a copy of Thought's Teal but on steroids. You don't just get 2 random copies of your opponent's cards, you have the option to choose cards for the current situation. This fact creates an important advantage, although not all imbalanced cards can be used in your strategy.
I had Draka, that weapon next to me. Wait a second. There.
Oh no!
Oh no.
On the 5th turn, the priest uses his deadly combo.
Next turn, yeah. Oh my, how big is
Oh
this?
my god, that's a boon.
Radiant Elemental reduced the cost of 7 spells throughout the turn.
Sting.
Oh,
I haven't seen anything yet, Habu.
oh jeez. Oh,
Oh, everybody close your eyes.
oh jeez.
Oh, behind the sofa,
no.
looking through my fingers. Look at the state of this.
Oh no.
Oh, the priestess is going to be so dumb. It's all so dumb. Weaves in a hero power because he hasn't got anything to spend his mana on because he's got so much. This is like the old shark auctioneer nonsense with coins.
Maybe a 12 attack?
That sort of order. I mean, he's gonna float mana.
Necrolord Draka is the icing on the cake. Thus, the priest, using all his cards, managed to realize in total effects equivalent to 65 mana crystals by classic standards. Habagabu would have been able to continue the battle and even the chances of winning if Levick hadn't found Draka. As a result, we got a very spectacular and incredibly fun duel in which skill did not matter much.
In the next episode, Luck turned away from Levick. Using the reconnaissance spell, Bunny Hopper finds a card that changes the situation on the board drastically.
Prep? Recon? Gigafen? GG? So many good things from Recon here. Oh! Oh, let's go! That's what I'm talking about!
Standard now has 44 Death Rattle creatures, excluding rogue minions. The chance of finding Gigafin among them is less than 7%. In this case, the Discover mechanic was again crucial. Bunny Hopper took a big risk and it brought him victory.
We again got a very spectacular fight, but the outcome of the battle was affected by randomness.
Yogg Saron definitely helped Bunny Hopper during the tournament. Just look at the next moment.
I refuse to accept you calling this early combo a disaster, whatever the result may be.
Okay.
There's no disaster coming out of this situation. Even if it's an... Oh, that I think is the game.
The combination of Goldshire Null plus Muck Pools is one of the most disgusting win conditions in standard format. In terms of value, Shaman used only 2 cards on turn 3, dealt 5 damage, then evolved Goldshire Null into Stoneborn General and dealt additional 8 damage. Moreover, Stoneborn General's Death Rattle is able to summon another minion with 8/8 stats. Thus, in the long run, this combination is capable of providing a benefit of 31 mana crystals, according to classic standards. This is madness.
The next point is an example of random dominance. The Rune of Archmage spell was cast 3 times in a row. Luckily this did not have a decisive effect on the results of the match, but it still looks a bit odd for a competitive match.
Let's move on to the next moment.
Yes, that's the top priority. And then you know that there's a 2-mana Draka. You don't want to give Rogue any chances to create a weapon. Okay, Draka being spotted. Very much a almost just winning position for Super Fake.
Theater is specifically designed to break most win conditions. We hate how this card is able to completely destroy the game plan of the players.
But even more, we hate the fact that Theatar's presence in the current metagame is completely justified. We shared our opinion on this card and other advantages and disadvantages of expansion in our previous video. Quite often, Theatar will allow you to get a lucky catch, which can become an auto-win. As for me, it's very bad, since the card does not vilify the value of the skill and the ability to invest resources correctly.
And one more thing, this is a demonstration of the combination of Kael'thas and Sire Denathrius.
How big is Nathria?
Big enough, apparently. 19. All right, there you go.
The 19 crucial damage was only possible because Sire Denathrius was found in the early game. In addition, the broken effect of Kael'thas allowed Sire Denathrius to enter the board on turn 8. If Kael'thas hadn't been broken, then the priest would have had a chance to restore life before the 10th turn, and he might have been able to continue the battle. Changing the cost of Kael'thas is essential to the health of Hearthstone.
As we said in the previous video, when it comes to decks built around super strong finishers, winning is too much based on luck, not skill.
For example, the faster you get Sire Denathrius in your hand, the faster he will begin to gain uncontrollable power. As a rule, the winner will be the player who can find and play his finisher first.
The most surprising thing is that all this mess is relatively balanced. There is not a single deck that would defeat other strategies in the metagame.
We don't want this video to mislead you. The skill of professional players is still of great importance in competitive Hearthstone. We have seen a large number of examples of the rational use of resources, and the adaptation of a strategy to a specific opponent.
But in cases where players use combo decks, or uncontrolled finishers, the influence of luck increases. The same goes for cards that generate random effects or have the discover mechanic.
Of course, any collectible card game has a luck component, since you cannot predict which card will come into your hand while drawing. So you can lose the game just because your opponent had a perfect hand.
To minimize this component as much as possible, the player should be able to choose a card from the deck that he wants to add to his hand at the beginning of each turn.
Thus, the players will always be able to adequately respond to the threats of the opponent, and the skill of the players will have the maximum value. Moreover, all random effects and cards that allow you to generate resources from the air, as well as uncontrolled mechanics and combos of the deck, should disappear from the competitive game. Most likely, the decks of the players will become very similar to each other and the gameplay will turn into mathematics. Also in this case, this format of the game will completely lose the uniqueness of Hearthstone and almost all the fun. In terms of playstyle, this will become very similar to the classic Hearthstone format, which is not at all interesting for players.
But at the same time, it will create an atmosphere of healthy competitive play. If these terms and conditions were the foundation for an entirely new Hearthstone cyber format that would exist in parallel with the standard game format, would you be interested? Would you follow tournaments with the same interest as now? Please share your opinion in the comments. We can't wait to hear your thoughts on this concept.
Personally, I think this is a great idea that could breathe new life into competitive play.
We would like to try something similar in the form of a brawl. But at the same time, this format of the game will leave Tralden without video materials. In my opinion, it would be too boring for a general audience, and Blizzard, most likely, understands this very well, and therefore they sacrifice the esports component in favor of fun and entertainment.
That's all for today. We would like to express our huge gratitude to our patrons. Dear friends, your support is incredibly important to us.
Thanks to each of you for being with us today.
We hope to be able to get in touch in the future. Take care of yourself.
And good luck.
Job's done.
The final Plague Lord is Rafam's right-hand henchman, Tikan. Our only chance to defeat him is to work together.
Tikan is clever, but so are some of us.
The answers are here. I can feel it.
We are ready to take on the tomb now. Let's go.